Since Dallas drafted Dak Prescott in 2016, the Cowboys have won the division 3 of 6 years, but it's only come with a single playoff victory. After sleepwalking through a, terrible NFC East in 2021, Dallas enters this season with a lot of new questions, and ultimately, the Cowboys are in big trouble. Dallas rebounded really well after a pretty messy 2020. The Cowboys went 6-10, and of course, Dak Prescott fractured and dislocated his ankle. It derailed the entire year. Kind of. I mean, they were 1-3 when Dak got hurt, so it wasn't looking great, but 2021 did. After Dallas barely lost to the Buccaneers to start the season, the Cowboys rattled off 6 straight wins. They did have a 2-3 stretch over the middle of the season, but won their last 5 of 6 to finish the year 12-5. Of course, that came with a lot of wins in the, depressing NFC East. In the playoffs, Dallas got taken out by the 49ers in the wildcard round. It was a good year and a lot of positives, but ultimately, it ended in disappointment, which seems to be a trend. His rookie year, Dak led Dallas to the playoffs, but lost to the Packers in heartbreak fashion. After missing the playoffs in 2017, Dak and company went 10-6 and even won a game in the postseason, downing the Seahawks before they lost to the Rams. Dallas missed the playoffs in 2019 and 2020, but it did set up for a nice 2021 return that ended in disappointment again. Just like almost every team in the league, success starts and ends with the quarterback position, and Dallas seems pretty confident in their guy, Dak Prescott. Dak was good in 2022, which is huge with him coming off of a major injury. He threw for about 4,500 yards, had a career-high 37 touchdowns, career-high 68.8 completion percentage, and only 10 picks. There's a lot to be happy about in Dallas with that QB. He's making $40 million a year for a reason, and whether or not the Cowboys are successful or not, and whether or not it's even because of him, is going to be either credited or blamed on him. And in order for that to be more credit instead of just absolutely bashing him on social media, I think the Cowboys need to put him in the right spot to succeed. I think one of the things I'm most excited to watch this season is CeeDee Lamb take over as a true number 1 wide receiver. CeeDee is fun as hell to watch, and hell, he pushed Amari Cooper out of town. As a rookie, CeeDee had over 900 yards and 5 touchdowns. Then last season, he had over 1,100 yards and 6 touchdowns. Cooper is off to Cleveland, Michael Gallup has a torn ACL, and James Washington probably steps into that 3 role, at least the 2 role when Gallup is recovering. But Washington had some pretty good moments with the Steelers. I like the receiving core a lot. I actually don't think it's the best in the NFC East. Unfortunately, I think that goes to Philly now with the acquisition of A.J. Brown, but at least for Dallas, Dalton Schultz is a very good tight end on the franchise tag. The running game may be the most intriguing thing to watch this season. Ezekiel Elliott is hitting a very important year in that $90 million contract he got after holding out. Dallas has an out and would probably only have a dead cap of about $12 million. That being said, I do think it's more probable that the Cowboys find a way to restructure his deal to just lower the cap hit. Zeke's had well over 900 yards in every single year of his career, and he's been a stud, regardless of what the media tells you. But his production really hasn't been much better than his backup, Tony Pollard. Both are very different players, and Pollard's play style, which is just a lot more speedy, has looked a bit more suitable in Dallas. He's had more yards per carry than Zeke in every season since he got to the pros, and Pollard's only getting paid $1.1 million this season. Honestly, at times I think I could get 10 yards through the holes that the Cowboys' offensive line makes. Yeah, they took a bit of a step off for a year or two after they were known for being fantastic, but last year they were back. They had the best line in football in 2021. The big names, Tyron Smith, Zach Martin, La'el Collins, they were able to stay healthy and it paid off. They were able to make life very easy for Dak Prescott and really whoever was in the backfield. I'd be an idiot if I went through this entire video without bringing up that Dallas defense. They were maybe the most exciting defense to watch in 2021. Micah Parsons was the top guy to watch. He came in as a rookie, and he just helped turn around that Dallas defense. In 2020, they were really disappointing, and he seemed to be that missing piece. He was the Defensive Rookie of the Year for a reason, first-team All-Pro, Pro Bowler, had 13 sacks. That was all as a rookie. It was impressive. Couple that with the constant turnovers that Trayvon Diggs Diggs was creating, at least when he wasn't getting beat deep. 11 interceptions. That's insane. He was very explosive, and the way he plays is really fun to watch. Very risk versus reward. What's wild is most of the success was had without DeMarcus Lawrence, who a lot of people would argue was the best defensive player on the team coming into 2021. He only ended up playing in 7 games thanks to a broken foot, but he's back healthy and ready for this season. Like many people, I have my doubts about Mike McCarthy. I know we all loved and miss the Jason Garrett era in Dallas. It was filled with disappointment, crushed dreams, and of course, a very abnormal amount of clapping on the sideline. It was nothing but disappointment year after year, no matter who was out there, whether it was Dak Prescott or even Tony Romo before. But now Mike McCarthy is in Dallas. He got there in 2020, and overall, he's 18-16, 18-15 in the regular season, 0-1 in the postseason. Fairly average, but there are some reasons to be very optimistic with him. McCarthy was the Packers head coach for 13 years, and even though it was filled with plenty of playoff exits and frustration, all that matters is he left Green Bay with a Super Bowl ring. I mean, come on, that's the ultimate goal. He's going to try to do it one more time in Dallas. But unfortunately for him, Aaron Rodgers is not walking through that door. Dak Prescott is a player that often ends up in the weird limbo of overrated versus underrated, really just depending on who you talk to. I think the reality is he's a very good quarterback, but not necessarily great. Dak isn't one of those top guys that's going to drag you to a Super Bowl or even a division title, although those are easier to come by in the NFC East, but he's still really damn good. Some people, they think he's a top 5 quarterback, and that's probably delusional as hell, but when you talk to others, well, you'd think he sucks. I think Dak needs to be put in a good position to succeed, and I'm worried about how the Cowboys have set him up for 2022. Dallas looks really different in 2022. The receiving game is almost destined to get worse, or certainly get worse almost. No more Amari Cooper. Michael Gallup is going to be out for weeks, and CeeDee Lamb has to learn how to be a number 1. James Washington is new, and he's going to have to figure things out, but Dalton Schultz should bring a lot of confidence just as a security blanket. I know that feels dumb for a team that had the best in the pros a year ago, but there are still some questions. The depth on the line is bad, and you never know how many games Tyron Smith is actually going to play. Connor Williams is gone, and Dallas has to hope that their first-round selection, Tyler Smith, can replace him well, and Terrence Steele can fall in well at right tackle. So many questions, and unlike last season, the NFC East may, dare I say, be competent.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Much like any season, anyone can win the NFC East. Okay, not the Giants. They're pretty bad.
Cups of the rose.
But I think the Commanders have an outside chance, but honestly, if you ask me right now who I think's going to win the division, it's the Eagles. Sucks to hear, I know Cowboys fans, but trust me, I hope I'm wrong. New York's going through a full rebuild, and it's obvious I don't expect them to be able to compete for the NFC East. However, Washington still has the pieces for a top defense in the league. Who knows if the offense is going to suck ass or not. Carson Wentz ain't exactly the second coming of Tom Brady, but he's better than anything Washington has thrown out there in years. But Philly, well, they seem like they're on the come up. Traded for A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts has his feet under him. I just think the direction of the team is going in the right pace, and there hasn't been a team in the NFC East that has repeated as division champs since 2004. Dallas has a good roster, a good quarterback, and good enough weapons to compete with other teams. But with the NFC East improving and Dallas ultimately getting worse this offseason, the Eagles are on their tail, and the Cowboys may be in big trouble.